Hey, Planeswalkers, Mythras here. Hope you're doing well and staying safe. Welcome, my friends, to today's top deck. We are covering one of the best decks, #1 deck from Kaldheim Championship by our good friend Arnie Huizenbeth. I think I might have butchered that. Apologies. But very excited and congratulations on winning it and taking down the Kaldheim Championship, my friend. So wanted to spotlight your Orzhov Auras deck here. I know you fine-tuned it very nicely, in particular to the Jund Sacrifice decks. Additionally, with some help with Janky, Johnny Gutman. So nice work, you guys, and well done. So very excited to play this one here today. The season has reset, so for those of you that are joining, as always, appreciate you tuning in here. Feel free to navigate down below to the timestamps where we will talk about the strategy objective of this deck list. We'll cover off on your boarding for best of 3. We'll go play some competitive Magic in both best of 1 and best of 3 today. Like I said, the season reset, so it's practically Mythic right now. A few hours in for April. And then last but not least, we'll talk about where this might sit in the meta today, my friends. So very excited about this one here. I love Auras decks. If many of you guys have been watching my content or been following me in some of the own MQs that I've played in and those things, certainly a big fan of these and thought it was perfect timing to circle back and do one of these. With that, Planeswalkers, flip me a like if you enjoyed today's video, and other great ways to support the channel down below in the details. So with that, we'll drill into this deck list here. So Historic is the name of the game. It is fast paced. It's very quick matches. The decks move very quickly. I'll say that again. In particular on Arena as well, it tends to be biased for that sense, but obviously this one is well tuned for the current meta as well. So what this deck is all about is a couple things. You want to mulligan aggressively for Core Spirit or Shram. The idea, also on top of getting a Hateful Eidolon, is really to do two things. Continue your draw cycles, getting playables, and dealing damage really fast. That is what this deck does. Not only the Orzhov colors, what allows you to do differently than Azorius is you can do both be on the attack and on the defensive. And by defensive, you can drop things like Deadweight there. And additionally get access to Demonic Vigor and Kaya's Ghost Form, so that when your creatures die, you can return them to your hand. Now, the benefit of Hateful Eidolon, a lot of people forget that I always call out here, is that if you have auras attached to this creature as well, when this creature dies, or another one of your creature dies, you get to draw a ton of cards. So keep that in mind. It's very important. And additionally, you get Thoughtseize. So Thoughtseize allows you to pick apart your opponent's deck and see their hand and know their lines of play. So all those things are really important. Additionally, you're getting Claimed Fame, as I like to call it here, but the ability to return target creature card with converted mana cost 2 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield, my friends. So very heavily tuned. Again, we get Lurrus here as well. I love the consideration of the mana base. I know it's quick. The only thing I would maybe consider would be flipping in one of the modal lands to pull some of your creatures back from the graveyard. That would be maybe it. But I'm not gonna critique this because I know it ran well and plays well. So really looking forward to it. So that is the strategy objective of this deck. Really pile on, get you guys going, defensive, offensive, depending on the board state, and then just like your Azorius deck, just pounding through quickly with big creatures and over the top and stuff that just does stuff, my friends. So very excited about this one, like I said. So now when we move into the sideboard, I'll talk about it in terms of aggro, mid-range, and late game. So in terms of that, to give you an idea of some of the aggro decks, again, Historic is very aggro driven, particularly in best of 1. It does get a little bit more mid-rangey late game sometimes in best of 3, but in best of 1, we covered the Selesnya Angels decks. You're going to get other variations that can also kind of be seen as a mid-range, but you do have mono green elves. Additionally, you still got goblins. You also are starting to see some of the burn decks climbing back in. Gruul aggro is another one to keep in mind as well. And then obviously there are things like the white weenies or other mono white decks to keep in mind in terms of the meta. Here in particular, what you're going to want to do is you're going to flip in things like Kaya's Ghost Form. You can pull in Heliod's Punishment, and additionally Myra's Grasp if you need to. And then in terms of what I would flip out, I still like Thoughtseize, but if you know they're heavily creature based, you just want to burn them down fast enough. You might not need to flip that one in and really just focus on removing the board. The only one that I would consider maybe keeping this for is going to be things like the Goblins decks, where you're certainly going to want to strip out Muxus, as always, my friends. The other things here you can consider always moving out or flipping in some of the other guys here at the top end, but it's just getting through lots of cards and playing from there, my friends. So then when we consider some of the mid-range, you begin to look at things like the Jund Sacrifice deck, Rakdos Arcanus, Rakdos Sacrifice, and again, kind of somewhat similar. I should have put in aggro and mid-range. Could be Orzhov Auras in terms of mirror match, and then also Azorus Auras, which you could still hit. And then additionally, you might run into some of, and then we did these a while back, some of the Rogues decks as well are still there. And then also the Tempo deck, Mono Blue Tempo could be one. So again, similar style. If you are running into creature-based decks, similar what I would do in terms of that lineup. If you're running into creature, or not as necessarily creature-based decks, more spell-heavy decks, I would flip in a Duress. You may, again, also want to consider Hushbringer for some of those decks that are hitting the board and causing things to happen in terms of some of the aggro things. So I did miss that. But in that case, by any means, this would be this would be something like a Muxus that you can shut down, for example. But now back to the mid range, because I am jumping around. I apologize. In this space, you're going to want to then consider Fragmentize. So Fragmentize is something that helps against the 9 lives deck that you could run into, so keep that in mind. If they are going to kill your guys, Kaya's Ghost Form is a must as well. And then, like I said, anything that's trying to enter triggers. So when we do hit the mid-range space, these are those Jund Sacrifice decks, like I said. This could be one to help you out there. And then also, I believe it's going to shut down Hateful Eidolon if they do kill some of your stuff, so that's also something to consider in that mirror match. Then when we move further down the path, we get to some more control type decks. Sultai Ultimatum is still in play. We have Azorus Control as well, my friends. That was a big one in the last big championship in terms of historic, so we want to keep those things in mind. And then additionally, there is Dimir Control. So not the Rogues decks, but one that you also want to keep in mind in terms of some of those late games. In this case, what you'll flip in again is those Duresses. You may want to flip in a Fragmentize depending on how they're set up, again, like we talked about. And then additionally, I don't mind Hushbringer also in this space, as long as you're not shutting down your own stuff. And really what we're going to flip out in the Kaya's Ghost Form, you're going to flip out any of the stuff that's going to be about removing creatures, and just go with more creatures and tie the matchup that way, my friends. So again, that's kind of how we're curving and moving along with the matches and our opponents that we're going to run into here today. Again, congratulations, Arnie. Super excited about this deck. You did you fought a good battle between both standard and historic. Absolutely amazing, and job well done. So we will now go ahead and play some competitive Magic in Historic here today. Very, very pumped about that. So let's go ahead and do it. We do see the red because of that claim to fame, like we talked about. But we've done a few of those historic decks here. You guys can absolutely check out. We've done the Gruul Goblins deck. We've also done some of the Selesnya Angels decks. Lots of newcomers here. I will get one done. My plan is to get a tier list done here for you before we get to Strixhaven. So we'll go ahead and dive into it here. And if you got questions about Anthology or those things, please let me know down below. Happy to give an opinion, or feel free to hop in the Discord server, my friend. friends. So let's drill into our lovely deck here today. So if you want to check out my standard stuff, you guys can check out that fun, awesome deck. We're going to go play historic rank. So again, there's the Selesnya Angels deck that I talked about that we did last time. You guys can check out. Today we're playing the Orzhov deck by Arnie. So Planeswalkers, as always, like I say, truly appreciate your support, and feel free to continue to support the channel in other great ways down in the details, or flip me a like if you enjoyed today's video. All right, so we got Captain Trips. All right, Trips, let's see what you're playing. I expect these matches to be fairly quick. So we do have a turn 2. We have a lot of turn 2s, no turn 1s though. I don't like that. I don't like slow turn 1s. I'm actually gonna mulligan this. This one isn't much better, but I'm gonna keep it. And we'll dump Fame. Now, I didn't aggressively mulligan here, which could cost me as well. So we'll see. So most certainly an Angels deck. Now we got the Selesnya deck. So Coco, Selesnya Angels. We will do this. Can't kill anything yet. I could stack a few things. How much life do they need though? 7 or more. It's close. 7 or more. I think we do that. Oh. Oh, wrong play. Wrong play. Let's see what they got here. There we go. We can rip that. Oh, that makes me so sad. Literally, if we would have just flipped one thing, that's what costs you the game, my friends. Absolutely. Oh, such a bummer. Such a bummer. If we would have played Kaya's, we might have had a chance. Might have had a chance there. Still would have been very tough. But they did top deck a Coco, so I don't know how much that would have actually changed the match. All right, on to our next one. That is a very tough deck in best of one. Commands a very high win rate as well. So we will keep going here with our Orzhov deck. Just not. We got a lot of opportunities to draw here, and we're not hitting any of them. There we go. We can keep this. So the question is, do we get rid of this? It's a good question. I think we get rid of a land. I think I got rid of the wrong one. I did. Played too fast. That's all right. Should have kept the... Should have dumped that one. All right, here we go. We're gonna play this guy, and we'll wait a turn. All right. So we can get rid of growing rights. They got no lands though. I think we dump this one. Oh, nice top deck for the land that they needed. So if I rip anything, I think they're going to get all this stuff in play, which is a problem. So we should have ripped the cradle. Instead. They had enough creatures to transform it. That's all right. Well, we'll see what they do here. So it's a top deck game right now. There we go. There we go. There's our core. That's what we needed. Eight. Can they pump it twice? 6? I don't think so. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So pump twice. 13. Going to have to block here, I think. There we go. They needed to do both there. What else do we have? We will grab this guy back. And go from there. That helps. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right, good. So what do we want to hit now? So 5, what's gonna, when they drop off? What do we want to take? Probably playing off the top, huh? Five. Changeling is what's... Don't think that's the right one. Alright, base power 5/5. Let's do it. Let's hit the chain Realm Walker. Ah, wrong one to hit. Should have been on the Elvis Chancellor. Just waiting for Craterhoof. Oh, wow. That's a big attack here. They can't pump. They can't pump. So they've thrown everything at me. 7. Everything's tapped out, so... But they have this, is what it is. They gain 2/2. So they gain 7. So if we go blocks... Block there. Elves will gain 2/2. And we'll lose the Artificer right there. So what's that give me? That gives me 11. I can block with the Hateful too. So this is... Let's think about this. 11. So 11, null, 16 plus 26. We're gonna have to block more than I want. F block more than I want to. Okay. I think that might be enough. Could have thrown one more in there, maybe. Oh, yep. The other druid was still open. I don't think we had it. So that's mono green for you. Oh, bummer. Bummer, bummer, bummer. If we would have hit something else with that 2-drop, that would help. So we went 0-2 right now, I think. Yeah, let's try one more here. Let's check here. 0-2, I believe. That is correct. So let's play one more best of one, and then we'll move into our best of 3, my friends. Since this deck was a best of 3 deck for Arnie. Little bit different. Little bit different. All right, finally we can go first. And we can play right. Right. Ooh. Shoot. Would have been real nice to double up there. Get rid of Coco. It's not lethal yet. Drop a core. Drop a claim. All right. So what do we want to do here? Let's see if this does anything. There we go. Did something. Oh, not getting what we need. And then we do have our other core in there. Getting hard to see everything in my hand. Oops, not that. Apply this guy. There we go. Yes, we got through almost the whole deck there. So that really shows the power of Orzhov auras there, my friends. So much to keep track of. So much to keep track of. Oof, very, very nice. So we made up on the Selesnya Angels deck second round. So let's go ahead, or second turn through, let's go ahead and play some competitive best of 3 here now. Traditional historic standard rank. Again, there's that Selesnya Angels deck. Today we're doing Arnie's #1 Orzhov Auras deck. So let's hop into it here. Very, very pumped about this. All right, 40 cal, 1605. Ooh, well, we can play 2 in a row, so I'm actually going to keep this. Going to sound kind of crazy. Probably going to be crazy. Certainly crazy. If they hit me with something at the beginning on Hateful Eidolon, we're going to be in trouble. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh no. The land drop miss could cost us. Could absolutely cost us. There we go. Oh. Let's go like this. There we go. So good news is next time we can go with Angelic Gift. So we're gonna have to be really quick here. Ooh, it's Golgari too. This could be close to game. We'll find out. As long as they don't hit one of the Sentinels, we're okay. Have enough mana to pump. That was the wrong play, because he should have pumped for Death Touch there. Unless I'm missing something, but I don't think I am. There'd be one short. Whew. Whew, whew, whew. Next one. We got to get these guys off the board. This will grab. I don't mind some of the flyers for over the top and to stop their triggers. I'm going to drop a couple of those outs, to be honest. Heliod's does help here too. It slows them down. I'm gonna drop a couple of these guys so they're not getting mauled. Let's grab another Kaya's. Drop one Shram. All right. Whew. Let's see if we can take down the Elves deck here, my friends. I'm okay with this. We got Shram. We can rip the Thoughtseize. I think we get rid of the Reclamation Sage, though. Well, let's rip that. We'll do that. Bunch of 1/1s. All right, top deck magic now. Here we go. Now we can get Hushbringer in as well and start gaining some of that life. It's too bad we didn't have it in that turn. Oh man, 40 cal, 605. What are you doing, my friend? Uh-oh, maybe they whiffed. Will that be something? 6 lands? I can't imagine. Or maybe they DC'd. Uh-oh. Oh no. We gotta take tons of advantage now. No, I think they DC'd. They probably saw that hand and did not like it. Ooh. We will maybe exact our revenge on Elves today, my friends. All right, let's see here. Timer's counting down. Just about there. Boom. Take action. And we will attack. Not much they can do unless they Coco again. But now they're going to be way too far behind here. And we got plenty of control now. Plenty of control. We can go Sentinel's Eyes on Core. All that glitters onto the other Hush. Swing in for a ton of damage. But I think we got this one. Don't want to speak too soon. But once they tap out, we'll go back and check out the deck again, my friends, and we'll talk about how it played today in Historic. Boom! There it goes. Well, I will take it because that is what happens. And we're moving on up with our historic Orzhov Auras deck by Arnie, my friend. So let's close out today and go back. It's been a long one, making multiple videos, so it's always good, but let's go ahead here and see what we got going on. Oh, and I forgot to do my lovely styles for you guys. Oh, so sad. Okay, here's what we got. So to close out, my friends and planeswalkers, we played the Orzhov Auras deck by Arnie. Congratulations again on taking down the Kaldheim Championship. Tweaked against John Sack. In particular, we didn't hit any though, but we did hit a lot of competitive stuff in terms of green elves and also our friends Selesnya angels as well. So we ended up splitting overall, but we did come out ahead because we went 1 and 2 for best of 1, and then 2-0 for best of 3, taking down best of 3. So where do I think this is positioned in the meta? Certainly in best of 1. I think it's not quite as strong. However, I do think it certainly can be very strong. So a lot of folks, again, you get the element of surprise. You are going to play more aggro-based decks. The difference here, though, is I think you definitely would want to have maybe a little bit more Myers grasps on that turn 2 to take some other things off the board. Just my opinion, but again. Anyway, I do think it's certainly a tier 1 deck. I've always thought the Auras decks are tier 1, but I think it's stronger in best of 3, actually, because that ability to board and play around what your opponents have. A lot of that is what we see here. We see the Myers Grasp coming in. We get the other lockdowns and so forth here with Arnie's stuff. And also in best of 3, I would actually say that I think this is closer to a tier 1 deck as well. So 1 second here, I just want to check one thing in terms of my observations. And there we go. Okay. So yeah, certainly I think tier 1 as well in best of 3. Very, very nice smooth matches. Again, Jund Sacrifice has been really on everyone's radar. But this deck certainly holds up nicely. Obviously, Arnie proved that as well. And additionally, with the sideboarding here that we have going on, it is definitely competitive for that space. So I've been a big fan of Auras decks, like I said before, particularly Azorius. Now taking a look at Orzhov here today, and I really like the ability to attack your opponent's creatures, but also play on the defensive, and then also make your guys bigger and draw. And what we didn't do that you could also do is you could cast Deadweight on your core Spirit Dancer, nullify the 2/2, and get a draw card if you needed to. So those are a lot of other things that you can play around there that people also forget. So again, overall best of 1, we went 1 and 2. I certainly think this is a tier 1 deck. And best of 3, again, we crushed it. Our opponent did end up, I'll say they whiffed on their Coco and was upset. And we won that one. I think, again, tier 1 deck. Certainly a super fun one nonetheless. Congratulations again, Arnie. If you guys have questions or comments, let me know down below. Feel free to hop in the Discord server. That information is in the details while you're down there. Other awesome ways to support the channel. And feel free to flip me a like, my friends. Would love to see you around more. So stay tuned because we got a lot of stuff coming your way. Like I said, I'm going to try and make good on April here this season to get you guys a new historic tier list. So we'll see you again soon. Stay safe, Planeswalkers. Mythras out.